Good afternoon, everyone. So we are back in Lisbon, the capital of Portugal. We're going to enjoy a nice day inside the city. It's a little windy up here, but it's nice because it's not too hot. Yeah, like definitely, it's not as hot as Florida in Lisbon, but definitely without the wind, it does get kind of hot over here.
This area here is actually called the Cultural Center of Belem in Lisbon. Here is where they host conventions, classical music concerts, and opera. Here we have the Monument to the Discoveries, that's the name in English. It is a homage to the Portuguese that sailed to find new worlds. They actually went to Africa, Cape Town, India, parts of Asia. If you want, you can also go to the top via elevator or stairs. It does cost about €5, but you could see it from the outside. You don't actually need to pay unless you want to go all the way to the top. But yeah, from the top, you can actually see a giant compass. It's pretty cool. This whole area here, this part of Belem, is actually part of the Portuguese Expo from the 40s to showcase to the world the Portuguese empires and their colonies. We actually have a restaurant from the 40s Expo. Even today, there's still a restaurant here. It's still functional. Here we have a replica of the plane that two Portuguese men, Cabral and Coutinho, I think that's how you pronounce the name, flew across the Atlantic for the first time, all the way from Lisbon to Brazil.
Here we are outside the Combat Museum. There's a few things in there. History of aviation, soldiers of Portugal. There's the history of the trenches and the when Portugal participated in World War I. And then the War Memorial is also over there. It's very pretty. Kind of reminds me of the memorial that we saw in New York City. So that's also very pretty. And here we have a long list of names of all the soldiers that have died during some of the wars in Portugal. So yeah, very similar to seeing all the names over in New York City at the memorial over there. Yeah, it wraps all the way around that arch you see in the middle. In the middle of the arch, there's a little flame over there. I know you guys can't see it that well, but yeah, there's a little flame, kind of like a little oven-like thing in the middle right there. Yeah, the little flame right there in the middle, it's kind of blocked off on this side, but the little flame is supposed to illuminate this arch at night. And send light to all the soldiers up above in heaven is what my husband was telling me about. So yeah, definitely very pretty, very symbolic. There's a lot of religious meanings to a lot of things in Portugal.
Here is the Geronimo's Monastery. Inside is a Navy museum as well as other things to see. Here's where Portugal signed the treaty to become part of the European Union in 1986 as well. From here we can see an amazing view of downtown Lisbon and the Tagus River. It's definitely a very beautiful place to be. I always enjoy coming to Lisbon.
Here's an amazing view from the St. George Castle in Lisbon. You can see a lot of Lisbon from here, as well as the bridge. Yeah, the last time I was here, I told you guys that that bridge over there is red like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, but it looks like the Bay Bridge. So it's kind of funny if you've ever seen that bridge before.
So right now we are walking around the St. George Castle located in Lisbon. And a little history about St. George Castle. The St. George Castle was actually built by the Moorish, so it was not built by the Portuguese, it is actually one. It is actually one of the oldest fortifications from the 2nd century, and St. George's Castle actually has played a very important part in the history of Lisbon, as it has held many various civilizations inside, such as the Phoenicians, the Romans, and the Moors, before it was conquered by the first king of Portugal in the 1147 siege of Lisbon. It was actually the last thing the Portuguese first king conquered before he died. It does cost 10 euros to visit. A little bit expensive, but as I said before, in America, we don't have a lot of places we can see castles and explore and walk around. So I wanted to check it out since I had some time and we were able to return to Lisbon on this trip to Portugal. It is cheaper, actually, if you are a resident of Lisbon. However, you do need to bring proof of that. They don't just give you the cheaper price just by saying you are a resident living there. Yeah, it's actually very big. There are many places to walk around at the St. George Castle. If you want to visit the castle, from November to February, it is only open from 9 to 6. So definitely get there early. But from March to October, it is open from 9 to 9. As we're actually visiting in September, it's pretty cool because we still have a lot of daylight left and we have a lot of time to visit St. George Castle. Like I said, for each adult, it costs 10 euros. For students, it costs 5 euros, but I think if you're going to use a student discount, it's like the Lisbon residence discount. You must bring your student ID from a valid, probably from a valid school in the area, or a valid school probably from Portugal. If you're over 65, it is 850 euros, and children under 12 has free entrance. So that's pretty cool. You can bring your kids. You can tell them you're taking them to a historic and a beautiful castle. Especially if they've never seen a real life castle before. Inside St. George Castle, there's also a museum showing the various civilizations that have lived here over the years or over the centuries, and you can see a bunch of their artifacts. It is a pretty small museum, but it is cool to see, and I do enjoy museums. So this was definitely a pretty cool bonus onto this tour of St. George Castle that we did. After visiting St. George Castle, it was time for dinner. So we stopped at the mall in Lisbon, and I got some roast grilled chicken, and some fries, and black beans. Yeah, actually, this is my favorite. This is my favorite mall in Lisbon, and this is my favorite place to get chicken. My husband did say this was not even run by Portuguese, and this is not a Portuguese chicken place. It's actually Argentinian, but it is delicious, and yeah, I'm really excited to eat. I'm really hungry right now. Ending the day in Lisbon after dinner at the Central Hub area. If you guys remember, we were actually here during the daytime last time, and now we are here at night.
Alright, so we are getting ready to leave Lisbon now. The castle is pretty cool, though I don't know if it's really worth 10 euros. It's a little bit expensive. So anyways, thank you everyone for watching, and I still got a little bit of time. Still got a couple of days left in Portugal. So yeah, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the morning. Bye.